You are standing in the shadows of a deep cave in northern Spain. The year is 430,000 BC. You are an early human, a close ancestor of the Neanderthals, and right now, you are looking down at the dead body of a young man from your group. You kneel beside him. In the flickering light, you see two massive, identical holes broken straight through the front of his skull, just above his left eye. You know a cave bear didn't do this. Falling by accident didn't do this. Someone in your group stood face to face with him, looked him in the eyes, and hit him twice with the exact same weapon. You pick up his dead weight. You carry him through the dark cave to the edge of a terrifying 40-foot drop, and you drop him in. Welcome back to Pluviophile Story. Today, we are putting you in the shoes of the ultimate detective. We are going to solve a 430,000-year-old crime, proving that our ancient ancestors didn't just invent tools and fire, they also invented murder, cover-ups, and funerals. Fast forward to the year 1984. Deep in the mountains of Spain, scientists climbed down a deep vertical drop to a place they named Sima de los Huesos, which means the pit of bones. Down in the dark, they made a massive discovery, the fossil bones of at least 28 early humans. But one of them stood out. It was a skull they named Cranium 17, and it was found shattered into 52 different pieces. When researchers carefully glued those 52 pieces back together, a chilling picture appeared. The young man's skull had two deep, clear holes right on his forehead. But without eyewitnesses or a confession, how do you prove a crime happened almost 500,000 years ago? You need to use crime scene science. To solve this, scientists had to look for clues, just like the detectives of the past. Here is a weird historical detail for you. The first recorded crime scene scientist in human history was a Chinese official named Song Si. Back in the year 1247, Song Si looked into a murder in a rice field, where a man was killed with a curved farming tool called a sickle. But every farmer in the village owned a sickle, and they were all washed perfectly clean. Song Si didn't panic. He made every villager lay their sickle on the ground in the hot summer sun. Minutes later, a swarm of buzzing flies landed on one specific blade. The flies could smell the tiny, invisible traces of human blood that survived the washing. The killer confessed right there on the spot. Song Si proved that death always leaves a trace. Our modern scientists did the exact same thing with Cranium 17, but instead of flies, they used modern 3D computer scanners. They looked at the breaks on the 430,000-year-old skull. The bone showed absolutely zero signs of healing, meaning the victim didn't survive the hit. He died right away. They also proved the skull wasn't smashed after he died. Then they looked at the killer's behavior. The two holes were the exact same size and shape, meaning they were caused by two separate hits from the exact same weapon. If the man had just fallen down the 40-foot drop and hit his head on a rock, it is almost impossible that he would hit the exact same rock twice, the exact same way, on the front of his face. The holes are on the left side of his face. This tells us the attacker was right-handed, swinging a heavy, hard object, like a stone axe or a wooden spear. Hitting someone in the face twice with a heavy weapon means one terrifying truth. There was a clear, direct goal to kill him. So, what really happened to Cranium 17? That question leads us to one of the biggest mysteries in this story. How did his remains end up at the bottom of a 40-foot deep hole? According to scientist Nohemi Sala, this could not have happened by accident. If someone was already dead, they could not simply fall into that place by themselves. Researchers believe this cave was not a place where people lived. That means the only explanation is that other humans brought the body there and placed it inside the deep pit. Now, think about what this tells us about our ancestors. In the animal world, when a creature dies, its body is usually left behind. But around 430,000 years ago, humans were already doing something different. They carried a body through a dangerous cave and placed it in a hidden location. This shows that our ancestors may have had special feelings and traditions when someone from their group passed away. Maybe they were trying to protect the remains, or maybe they wanted to give their loved one a respectful resting place. Whatever the reason was, the pit of bones changed what we know about human history. It became one of the earliest signs that humans were not only surviving, but also caring about the people around them, even after they were gone. Sadly, the story of Cranium 17 was not the only example of humans experiencing conflict. As humans became more intelligent and developed new tools, they also became capable of creating bigger conflicts. Travel back about 10,000 years ago to Kenya, Africa. scientists discovered the remains of 27 hunter-gatherers near an ancient lake. The discovery showed signs that these people had gone through a major conflict, not just a simple accident. Researchers found evidence that some of them had suffered serious injuries, and some objects found at the site suggested that weapons were involved. Among the remains was a pregnant woman, making the discovery even more emotional. This finding changed what scientists thought about early human conflicts. It showed that organized violence between groups may have existed much earlier than researchers once believed. Another famous example is Ötzi the Iceman, a naturally preserved human found in the Alps from around 5,300 years ago. For many years, people believed Ötzi simply died because of the harsh mountain environment. But modern scans revealed signs that he had experienced a dangerous situation before his death. Scientists discovered an arrowhead injury and other marks that suggested he had been involved in a struggle. Researchers also found traces that showed Ötzi had contact with other people shortly before he died. His story tells us that even thousands of years ago, human life was filled with challenges, conflicts, and moments that shaped our history. Human history is not always a simple story. We often imagine our ancient ancestors as people who were only focused on finding food and surviving each day. But the evidence left behind tells us something much deeper. The story of Cranium 17 shows that conflict has been part of human history for hundreds of thousands of years. But it also shows something else. It shows that early humans were capable of caring for each other. When someone from their group was gone, they took the time and effort to place them somewhere special. Bones may seem silent, but they carry stories from the past. And as scientists continue to study them, they help us understand who we were and how we became the humans we are today. If you want to discover more about the mysteries of our ancient ancestors, check out our next video right here. Thanks for watching Pluviophile Stories. Stay curious.